Gotta find the window.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome in.
So we're going to start this morning by lighting the Christ. Da 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 da. Ooh, perfect. Okay, good morning, Unity. We are so glad that you guys are here, and we're going to start our service by lighting the Christ candle a little bit closer, okay. Yes, that way, again, we're going to be lighting the Christ candle, and this is a representation of the light within all of us and within Christ. And now we're going to enjoy a first song by Miss Christine. And during that song, if you guys want to come up, we do have our basket for the feed the Yes, sorry, I know I'm loud, but yes, microphone. So we are going to have Miss Christine, of course, start our service with an amazing song. And during that song, we do have our Feeding the Hungry basket up here. Now this is for our Pack-a-Sack for Pasco, and we are helping 80 kids a month get food and lunches and extra food. So it's an absolutely amazing thing for you guys to be able to do. And let's get it started, Miss Christine.
Good morning. Let's all rise up together this morning and invite Spirit in. Here we go. We have come together as a family. Put your hands together. We have come here as we are, as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Yeah! Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Well, I can hear you, it's awesome. Come on. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Here we go. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Woo! Spirit's in this place. That's your part, the woo. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. Sing with words of prayer. We affirm our life is sacred. We declare that peace is here. Yeah! Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Let me hear you clapping. Come on. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Oh yeah. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. five your neighbor. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. You're all shining. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Here we go. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Woo! Spirit's in this place. That was a good woo. Denise Rosier would be so proud of that woo. Come on, turn to your neighbor, say good morning. Give him a high five. We're so thankful, we're so blessed to have you here today. Welcome in, Newport Richie. And hello to our YouTubers, too. We can't forget about all you people nice and cozy at home.
Absolutely, and on the Facebook too. So, of course, again, welcome everybody. We are so glad that you guys are here. Of course, Christine, was that not so much fun to get us started? Woo! Yay. Now, do we have any first-timers here? Oh, congratulations, yay. Anybody else, first time? Oh, yay, puppy, I love it. So we've got somebody bringing over a packet for you. Now, inside of this, you're gonna find lots of helpful information, and there is a little yellow card. It's gonna look like this. If you want, you can fill out your information and give it to us in with the offering basket. We'll send you newsletters and info on all the things that we've got going on, and we're just so happy you're here. So, today we have, of course, Mr. Jeremy McDonald going to be speaking for us. Now, Mr. Jeremy E. McDonald, MED, is an internationally recognized best-selling author, quantum healer, intuitive soul guide, and Reiki master, with over 25 years' experience in spiritual teaching, coaching, and public speaking. His work centers on helping individuals release limiting beliefs, align with their highest truth, and live soul-led, rooted lives in purpose and authenticity. He is the director of the Los Angeles Tribune Speakers Inner Circle, where he supports visionary leaders in finding their authentic voice, and the host of Mystic Dialogue on Ethereal TV, exploring the expansion of human consciousness through conversations at the intersection of spirituality, science, and transformation. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. That was a lot. That was a mouthful, but very, very fun. And we are so glad that you are here to be sharing all of that with us. So we are going to be affirming our mission and our vision. So, of course, our mission, if you guys want to say it with me, is through prayer, service, education, and outreach, we support transformation and heart-centered living. And our vision, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our core values, we are spirit-led, learning, loving, joy-filled community. Perfect. And we've got Miss Sarah Fredrickson as our prayer chaplain. Come on up, Miss Sarah.
Thank you. Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's really good to see you all. Well, we prayer chaplains are here for you before and after service to pray with you. We also have our prayer box, so feel free to utilize our prayer services. However, now our daily word today is illumination. And so let's affirm together the little affirmation underneath. I walk with faith along the path of light. So now I'll read our daily word for today. So illumination, I walk with faith along the path of light. When someone gets a flash of insight or makes a sudden realization, it's often said that a light bulb has gone off. It's no surprise that growing in understanding is likened to light, which brings brightness and clarity to what was once obscured by darkness. I am grateful for the illumination I have received as I travel the divine path. My spiritual growth may not always be easy, and I will never stop learning and discovering. But there is such value in the journey itself, those moments I feel newly close to God, those times when the divine within helps me make a better choice, and those precious flashes of pure love and light. I welcome my ongoing illumination, knowing the light I seek is already within me. And our Bible verse today is from Psalm 18, verse 28. And the verse is, "It is you who light my lamp. The Lord, my God, lights up my darkness." And so it is.
So I just want to invite everybody to take a deep breath in with me. And just release anything and everything that is no longer serving us. Breathe it in again. Now I invite you, while I sing this song, to just stay within, close your eyes, hear the words. The words are just beautiful. At a crossroad, holding a heavy load, no clear way to turn. perfect song for this young man's talk today. Just so you guys know, it's like I came in with a different song for this slot, and I got here real early, like 8 o'clock, and I just started letting Spirit work with me, and I'm gonna warm up with some songs. And this song was like, don't you remember? This song fits his talk really, really well. So it was a last minute thing, and I'm just so thankful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Everybody awake? Before we get started, I'd just like everybody, we're not going to meditate, we're just going to do a real quick thing. I just want you to close your eyes because I want you to get us in the state and bring in the energy. So close your eyes, deep breath in, hold it, let it all out. One more time. Deep breath in, hold it, let it all out. The third time, what I want you to do is I want you to say inside to your soul, I let you come in balance to me in this moment. So deep breath in. I let you come in balance with me in this moment. Let it all out. Feel the energy. All right, you can open your eyes. Everybody feel that? Okay. So I'm going to read a passage in the Bible that I know that we all are very familiar with. I'm sure you'll get it as soon as I say it. In the beginning. And if you don't know that, we need to have a conversation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good and separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, or the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. So my talk today is called Goodness Over Doubt, remembering who we are before we forgot. And so it's interesting because in physics, they tell us that your bodies are formless matter, made up of formless matter. And you're 99% that of photons that have become formless matter. So basically, you're 99% light. And so that formless matter, it starts getting condensed and trapped into this matter that we call our physical body. Now, I'm not going to get all into theoretical physics because we'd be here for a while. And most of you just be like, I need some coffee. And I haven't smoked in like 20 years, but I need a cigarette. But I find it super fascinating, and I'm sure you do too, but it's just a longer conversation. Well, what is light? Light is truth. And God said in the beginning, let there be light. So what was he saying? He was saying the intention of manifesting light into the three-dimensional physical world. But in this world, we villainize the dark. Now, I'm not going to say there's things that people don't need to be accountable for. That's a whole other conversation. But what I'm talking about is the balance between the yin and yang, the darkness and the light. Okay, and the judgment we have towards that darkness in us. Now in shamanism, they tell us that we have to do what? We have to walk into our underworld to face our darkness. Carl Jung said we have to face what? Our shadow. It's not, these are not new concepts. You guys have all heard it. We've also heard that the divine is within. But here's what most people don't understand is that the darkness in you is terrified that it's going to go somewhere and not be there. In other words, you're going to get rid of it. Well, energy doesn't go anywhere. It only does what? It only transmutes its state. Does that make sense? Okay. So now, who in here has spent time looking at your past and going, either judging it or you've finally come to peace with it? Who's ever gotten to that level? Who's ever looked at your past and been super proud of it, the bad moments and the good moments, saying, because of who I am now is because of my past? And if you haven't done it, I invite you to start doing that because it's one of the coolest things in the world. Yes, it's a hard journey sometimes to go back and look at some of the things that were challenging in your life and weren't exactly easy. But I'm going to tell you what happened to me over the last 2 months, and then I'm going to go into why this is important to this conversation. So I've told you guys before that in 2024 I was diagnosed with 2 things: cardiac artery disease. I have the Widowmaker. It has a very high calcium count, and well, at least at that time it did. And then my A1C was high, and I was diagnosed as a diabetic. And so just before Christmas, all my blood work came back green. And if anybody knows what has looked at a Quest Labs thing, it all came back green. With the exception of the A1C, it's still considered to be pre-diabetic, but it's now a 5.9 instead of, a 7.2. So why is that important? Yes, my mother was a nurse and she was a shaman. So she used to tell me there has to be a balance between medicine, holistic, and spiritual. So it's interesting, and I didn't just listen to my mother a lot when she was alive, but after she passed away, her lessons just seemed to be miraculously smart. So can anybody relate to that? So it's interesting, and also in the last year, I've lost almost 65 pounds. So then it was all mainly in this area. So I had to do a little bit of research on that, because, I'm a nerd, and I like to look up stuff. Well, a lot of that is an overexerted amount of cortisol. What is cortisol? It's the stress hormone. Well, that's what we call it. But did you know that the cortisol is produced by your adrenal glands? It plays a vital role in keeping you alive, functioning. It helps regulate blood sugar, control inflammation, support blood pressure, and manage metabolism. Kind of tells you a lot, right? Well, Spirit kept on telling me that when you're in balance spiritually and physically, then your chemicals in your body, and you start making better decisions about yourself, because who's ever wanted to go to the gym before? Or people, you say, I need to go to the gym, or I need to eat better. Who's ever said that? But then something just kind of works against you in your psyche. It's like, yeah, I need to get up and do this, but and then what ends up happening is you start making decisions that are better for yourself. It gets easier and easier and easier. They say it takes, 21 days to create a habit. But I think what it's more about is as you bring yourself more into balance, then your choices start to change, because where you were at before becomes of such a far journey. Because you're like, wow, I can't believe I used to make those decisions, and justify that those 4 or 5 martinis weren't really doing bad things to my body. And that's how I ended up at the hospital. I drank 3 martinis because I love dirty martinis, but I don't drink anymore. But the reason why I tell you these stories is because, did you know that 60% of Americans suffer from some inflammation in your body? Okay, so yes, I realize that inflammation is also caused by the food that you eat and a lot of that kind of stuff, but it's also caused by stress. And guess what happens to stress? Your energy system is out of balance, so that you can't make easier decisions based on what you want to do in your life. So what this presentation is about understanding who you were before you forgot, because your soul is perfect. And your physical body's perfect too. We've just judged it. We've just judged all the decisions we've made and all the things we've done. But the reality is, if you look back at those, I've been looking back. The funniest thing is, I was just thinking about this. I turned 52 on Tuesday, and thank you. But why I'm laughing about that, why it's such a milestone, is when I was 26, I had a friend that was 52, and I said, I'm exactly half of your age. And she said, you can be smacked. So I was like, okay, all right. So she's transitioned to the other side, but we were such funny people. We would just go back and forth, and we traveled all over the country together. And so I've been just looking at moments like that, and where I was, and how much I judged myself, and how much I didn't value myself. Can anybody relate to this one? Okay. And as you value yourself, you start taking bigger risks. You start asking, and then you shall what? Receive. And because before, you might not have asked because you thought, oh, I don't know. I don't know if they're ever going to say yes, or I don't know if this is ever going to happen. But here's the reality. You get bolder and bolder and bolder, with respect, obviously. You're not going to do something that's disrespectful, but I'm going back to 2012, and it was right after my mother had transitioned. And does anybody know who Dr. Raymond Moody is, or familiar with his work? He's the one that coined the phrase the near-death experience. He's probably interviewed like 40 or 50,000 people in that realm. And anyways, I didn't know who he was. And but in 2012, my mother had transitioned. I had what he calls a shared death experience, where I've actually felt my body elevating out of my body when she transitioned. Well, so a friend of mine came up to me at the memorial and says he's going to be speaking on Unity on 4th Street, First Unity, and so why don't you go and see him? So I go and I see his lecture. He helps me answer all kinds of questions that I experienced and all that kind of stuff. And then I decide, I had a very small podcast at the time that maybe 10 people listened to every Saturday morning, and I thought, I'm going to go up and ask him to be on my podcast. And my friend's like, he's been on Larry King and Oprah and all that other kind of stuff. I don't care. What's the worst he's going to say? No. Well, he said yes. And we built a friendship over the many, many years. And then he spoke at the Temple of the Living God on January, I believe, 26, a couple months ago. And he doesn't drive. So I had to go. I went and got him in Sarasota. I volunteered. I said, I will go get him. And because I haven't seen him in a couple of years, and I'd like to spend some time with him. So I went and picked him up, and we were having this really great conversation and all this other kind of stuff. But what he didn't know what was going on is I told you all that stuff about me getting better. I was taking the GLPs for managing my blood sugar. Well, on 4 days, 4 days after Christmas, I ended up in the emergency room in downtown Newport Richey. And then they said, there's nothing wrong with you, Mr. McDonald. I'm like, well, that's not what my body feels like. Has anybody ever experienced this one before? Okay. So then I'm like, okay, they scanned my brain, all this other kind of stuff, said you're not having a stroke, you're not having a heart attack, you're good. Go see your doctor. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I can't get into my doctor until the next week. So New Year's Eve, I go out, see the little fun ball drop downtown Newport Richey. It was cold out. Does anybody remember that? Well, I end up in the emergency room again right after the ball drops, and they're like, there's nothing wrong with you, Mr. McDonald. I don't know why you're complaining. I was like, well, whatever. So I started feeling better. It was the medication. They switched me to medication. I ended up in Fort Lauderdale for 3 weeks, doing book signings with a massive headache for about 5 days. So anyways, long story short, my inner spirit just kept on saying, you don't need this medication anymore. You don't need this medication anymore. You don't need this medication anymore. And so, but it takes a month for that to get out of your system. So anyways, I'm telling you this story because I want you to understand this is how you manage things. I don't want people to we get in this mindset that we shouldn't do things in our life because this person had a problem or this person had a problem. But how you learn is by doing. And I'm grateful for what happened. I mean, obviously, changing my diet and working spiritually and all that other kind of stuff changed my blood work, and I'm healthy, right? But I'm going through this experience, and the weirdest things is I have this foggy feeling. I'm standing, but I feel like I'm going to fall, and I'm not losing my balance, and all this other weird stuff going on. And I'm telling my doctor, I said, my cognitive skills are fine, but I was just teaching a class, felt like I was going to fall over, but I'm not falling over. And so I'm going through all this stuff, and my inner spirit said the doctors aren't going to be able to figure this one out. So I finally just jumped in one day, and it was the vagus nerve. I started working in the vagus nerve energy, and everybody know where that's at? It goes all the way down to the stomach, all the way up. And so anyways, I started seeing all this stuff from my past. And has everybody ever had that when a bunch of stuff just from your past starts surfacing in your life? Well, here's the reality is, so now a month later, I'm fine. My blood sugar, I was managing my blood sugar with diet and exercise, walking like 10, 11,000 steps a day and meditating and all that other kind of stuff. So anyways, what is blood sugar? Like when we look at this, it's inflammation, right? What I was just talking about, an overexerted amount of cortisol in your body. It's also anger, and it's lack of joy in your service for God. Okay? So if we've forgotten who we are, that the divine is within us, And this is all very subconscious, by the way. So consciously, you could be in this conscious state, I'm very in alignment with God, but what ends up happening is as you go through the world, and does anybody know what the Schumann resonance is? It's the frequency of the planet, and right now it's very heightened. Has anybody just felt off for maybe a couple weeks? Yeah, all right. So that's because the Schumann resonance has been high. Now, what does that mean for you? The higher the frequency, when light, light is a fast frequency, right? A very fast or heightened frequency. When it gets less and less, it gets very dense and starts going down into like what we would consider dark. Okay, so if it's higher, what it's doing is it's shaking apart that darkness and making us what? Face or look at what we don't want to look at. And we've spent eons. Let's just think about our current life. You could be 25, you could be 60, you could be 50, you could be 70, you could be 80, 90 years old. And there's parts of your life that you'd rather not think about. Am I right? Okay. But the reality is you don't have to revisit all those emotions. You want to revisit the energy of how you felt in those moments. 11 years old, little Jeremy was walking through school and somebody tried to chirp him because they didn't like him because he was 5'8" at 12 years old. And when at the end of the year was 6 foot tall. So, the kids, thought he's the big goofy guy that his church was on Saturday and he didn't celebrate Christmas. You can just imagine who can relate to these kinds of things being picked on as a school. So what ends up happening is every time that happens, something happened to you, you trip and you fall and that energy stores in your body. Well, when the frequency starts getting stronger, it helps you remember. And then you get to appreciate who you are. I want you to just take a moment. I want you to just think about all the beautiful, amazing things you've done in your life. And if you start to say, I haven't done anything beautifully and amazing, I disagree with you. You've lived. You've lived. So I was just watching in your social room a video of I was in drum and bugle corps, and I got 11th place in 1994. Stood on the same field that the Patriots play in Boston, and they had played the day before, tore up the field, and I was a proud moment. It was my mother came up and saw me. 20,000 people gave us a standing ovation. It was wonderful. That's a great thing, but here's what I'm the most proud of: the fact that I've literally gone to the worst parts of my life, and I'm still standing here. The fact that I have done some crazy things that would make moms and dads go, ugh. And that I have now, because we have all had those moments. We've all had those moments. And when you can finally look at it and say, I had to go through that to become who I am now, to become the woman and the man that I am right now, and I am proud of who I have become. Can you say that? Can you say that and just say, look in the mirror, I am proud of who I have become. And so it's very interesting. I was just talking to Sarah about how, I don't drink anymore. And I used to be the 5 creams and 5 sugars guy on my coffee. Now I'm like, I cannot believe I'm drinking black coffee. And so, what is going on? But you also had things where you've had people in your life that you would have thought it wouldn't have bothered you how they are 10 years ago. But now you don't have a judgment about what they're doing, but you're like, ugh. I just can't be around it. Who can relate to this? Those are caused because you didn't have boundaries. Did you guys also know that this area in the solar plexus, if this is protruding out, and it's not even if it's protruding out, if you have stomach issues, who's had bad acid reflux in their life? Okay, that's in the stomach area. Bad acid reflux, and the way Louise Hay would say it, it's called acid thoughts. Okay, so you're stuffing your energy down inside of you. This is where you've forgotten who you are. Who have you forgotten who you are? You're a beautiful, glorified being of light. And light doesn't have to play it small. So I want you to just take a moment and see you and how glorified you are. That word doesn't want to come out right now. So how glorified you are. Feel your soul. Because if you are made in the image of God, don't feel small. Don't think small. Don't think of yourself as less than. Be big. I'll leave you with this thought. I had Anybody remember a guy named Bob Proctor? Okay. He passed away a couple years ago. So my new friend, Dr. Kim, was a student of his and his business partner. And she went up and said to him, and she goes, and I'm just going to this is a trigger warning for some of you, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's a trigger warning, because it might trigger some of you, but because it triggered me. And he walked up to her and he says, I want to know if you can give me $150,000 right now in order to be able to invest into this, to be able to go into this, because we need to be able to do this. And she says, well, not without really stressing out my business. And he looks at her and he says, how dare you be poor? I told you it was a trigger warning. So then what he says is this. He said, now I want you to just pause just for a second. At the beginning of this workshop, did you or did you not say to me that you serve God? And she said, yes. And so he said, don't you think if you're serving God, if you're meant to do this, that was the key word, that you would not have the $150,000 right then, that God would provide it. God doesn't give you limitations if you're in your what? Divine plan. Does that make sense? So we've literally made money evil. And it's just what? Energy flowing. And now we don't always have to have money. Like, there's another story I just told Christine earlier about I'm helping a friend of mine, and I'm literally helping her get on more television shows. And because remember I said you would get bolder and bolder? So this week I was like, I wonder if I could get on Bloom. Does anybody know what Bloom TV is? With Gail Guarda on Channel 8? So I found the producer, and I emailed her, and she responded back within an hour and said, yeah, can you come in on the 19th to record a segment, and I'm going to be on Bloom TV on the 23rd of March. And I thought, if I can do that, I bet you I can do it with other people too. And so I started, created a media plan to do Orlando and Jacksonville and all that other kind of stuff. And my friend said, can you get me on shows? Well, she's a movie producer. And I said, I'll tell you what. She goes, well, I'll pay you. I was like, I don't even know what to charge because this is all new to me. Because this is just how my life is. Who's been like this? Just very bold. You just try things and you have no idea what you're doing. Can anybody relate to this? Well, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore probably didn't know what they were doing 100 and some odd years ago when they started Unity, right? And so this is how life works. If you don't forget who you are, if you're in the right path, it just starts moving. And then I have zero idea what I'm doing with this. I just know that I'm literally, I told my friend, I have to be on this show and I need to go and pick out clothes. So we spent all day yesterday, picking out clothes to wear. And he sat in the back over here. He's really good in fashion. I said, I want to make sure it shows up. And he's like, I've never seen you like this before. I said, because I have no idea what I'm doing. So anyways, long story short, she goes, you can do that for me. I'll pay you. And I said, I don't even know what to pay. And she said, I'll tell you what. I do this for you. I get to be on one of your movies. She said, deal. I'll put you in the one with Michael Beckwith. So it's coming out this year, just so you guys know. It's called Pillars of Power. It's the first of a series of movies. And it has 6 original cast members from The Secret. And so that's not the one I'm going to be on. I'm going to be on one of the pillars called Spirit with Michael Beckwith. But the point is this. When you're bold and you don't forget who you are a beautiful being of light. When you face the truth in yourself, that man, and if anybody's read my first book, you'll know where I came from and what doubt I had on me. I am a former meth addict. And so what ends up happening when you're in that low about a value of yourself, it means you hate yourself so much and you make excuses for it. But when you start facing yourself and loving yourself, it's not an overnight thing. It's a one step at a time thing. And what did Charles and Myrtle Fillmore tell us? That spirituality is a lifelong process. Am I correct? So stop judging yourself and take one step at a time and you will figure out who you are. And God stands for goodness over doubt. It's when the goodness in you overcomes the doubt in you. And what did Jacob become when he stopped wrestling with himself, basically? Then his new name became what? Israel. Am I correct? So the Israel is, Israel is the I is the divine feminine, and the R is the divine masculine, and then L is shining one. Because when you stop struggling with yourself, the light and the darkness becomes in balance, the yin and yang becomes in balance, you walk the narrow path that it talks in Matthew 7, and then what ends up happening, you fall out of balance, you what? You figure it out. You say that is my opportunity to get back into balance. And you say, thank you for that lesson. Thank you for that lesson, because now I understand who I am at a deeper quantum level. And quantum means small, not big. It's those particles that you get down into and look, because there's all these particles in you saying, well, I don't know about that, Jared. You might be wrong. And I'm like, no. No, because that's the boundary in me to say, no, I will never go back to that life, but I appreciate that life. Because I couldn't be who I am today if I hadn't had that life. Everybody with me on that? I'll leave you guys with that. I do believe I'm doing this is the meditation next. So I'll do the meditation. So thank you so much. All right, everybody just get in a kind of comfortable place, kind of shake it a little bit. Yeah. And I want you to take a deep breath in. And I'll let it all out. Another deep breath in. Hold it. Let it all out. All right, one more deep breath in. Hold it. Let it all out. And while I want you to keep on breathing, I want you to just start looking at your life. And I want you to allow your consciousness to bring up whatever it is you need to look at. Let it bring it up. But keep breathing, deep breaths in, and let it all out. And it may sift through thoughts like it's a movie projector. And what I want you to do is I just want you to hold your hands on your heart. Put one in your heart and one on your belly. And as you're breathing, I want you to say to yourself, thank you so much for the lessons and the opportunities I've had in my life to become who I am today. And feel the love that you've given yourself, holding yourself like you would hold a baby or a puppy or a kitten. I want you to say to yourself, I am so glad of who I have become today inside. And allow that energy of softness and compassion to really feel who you are right now. Deep breath in. Let it all out. And let those thoughts just keep on coming up. And once you feel them and release them, you may have to give some forgiveness. You may appreciate where you are right now. But what you want to do consistently is give love to yourself in this moment. And while you're doing that, I just want you to feel these words: peace of my mind, peace of my body, peace on my soul. Peace on my mind, peace on my body, peace on my soul. Peace on my mind, peace on my body, peace on my soul. I want you to let your soul stand up again inside of your body, feeling it, standing up in all its glory. Getting bigger and bigger and bigger, knowing who it is, remembering who you are, the pure light that you are. Getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And let your light shine brightly. Don't hold back. Let this light get as big as this sanctuary. and as big as this building, covering all of Pasco County, all of Florida. Deep breath in. Let it all out. Letting yourself get all the way out and covering all the southeast of the United States, bringing peace and harmony and truth. Peace in my mind, peace in my body, peace in my soul. Let it get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to cover all of North America. And your light is shining so brightly and so strongly. And you're bringing truth and awareness and love and compassion. Peace in my mind, peace in my body, peace in my soul. Now you're covering all the way to Japan and all the way to Europe, covering, it just keeps on growing and growing until you're finally consuming the entire planet. Peace in my mind, peace in my body, peace in my soul. And your light is so tremendous and so big that they see you all the way on the other side of the galaxy. Your light just carries so far, covering the entire solar system, bringing truth and awareness, compassion and love. Peace in my mind, peace in my body, peace in my soul. Now I want you to bring this energy. You're going to stay with your light expanded, but you're going to ground it all into your body, and your light just keeps on growing and growing and growing because light never stops. Peace in my mind, peace in my body, peace in my soul. But you're going to ground all this love and compassion and empowerment all into your body so that now your body just radiates with light. Deep breath in. Hold it. Let it all out. And I'm going to bring you back on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and you're back. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Isn't he outrageously fun? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, on the way over, I was seeing the difference between the light and the dark. And I was just praying for the world, because I was up early and I caught the news and I just, was silently listening. And the only thing I could say in a prayer was to it's not eradicating people. It's lifting that darkness and allowing everyone to have light and to see God's light within them, and then peace follows. Yeah. So we know this song, and we're going to claim a blessing. So if you want to stand up and shake it out with me, it'll be really fun. Come on. I claim a blessing. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. Let's claim it. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing.
blessing. Oh, yeah. High five your neighbor. Yeah, come on, come on. I lift my thoughts to the higher ground, knowing miracles are all around. Each day unfolds just like it should when I'm focusing on my truth. Life is filled with opportunity. I wonder what good is coming to me. I claim a blessing. I claim it. Woo! I claim a blessing. Put your hands up. Let's claim those blessings. Shower those blessings down. I claim it. Woo! I claim a blessing. Claim all those blessings, guys. They're right here. Just reach out and grab them. Like Jeremy says, you just got to step out and grab it. I claim it. Woo! I claim a blessing. All right. Here's our little shining star over here, Miss Michelle. Isn't she great?
So much fun. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Jeremy. And of course, Miss Christine. Absolutely amazing. And now we've got all of our let's do March birthdays. So it is Sunday birthday day. Do we have any March birthdays in the house? Jeremy, yes, you just said that. Woohoo! Yay, and Phil, yay! And Carmen, woohoo!
Happy
Miss Christine.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you always. God is blessing you now.
Fantastic. And then we've got our announcements that we've got going on. So lots of exciting stuff. Now, this Wednesday, we are starting a new gentle movement class with Mr. Kyle Paulson. Woohoo!
Now stand up so you can see it.
Now, we do want to highlight this is gentle motion and gentle movement. So it is for everybody. If you look at Kyle and you're nervous, I don't know if I can keep up with him. Yes. Says gentle movement right here. I'll give it to you. We're going to have some fun. It'll be a blast, and that is going to be Wednesday, March 4th at 12 p.m. So if anybody is able to make it, we hope that you're here. Of course, on Thursday, March 5th, we've got our weekly guided meditation and healing circle with our own Miss Sarah Fredrickson. Absolutely amazing. Next Sunday, March 8th at 10:30, we have Miss Reverend Barbara Williams. She'll be joining us with her lesson on awakening from the trance of unworthiness. After service on March 8th at 12 p.m. is an informative... Okay.
Get it fast.
Got it. I'll do a little to the sign. Yay. So, after service on March 8th at 12 p.m. is an informative 5 wishes and planned giving presentation with James Boyko, he is an attorney, and Laura Starkey of Heartwood Preserve. Lunch will be provided, so make sure you sign up in the lobby so we can have ample snacks and food. Ta-da. Yeah. We're doing it. And then, of course, Doug is helping us out with the Good Vibe Tribe. And sign up is in the front lobby, so check that out. Now, lastly, dink, save the date. We've got our next retreat, and that is going to be October 22nd through 25th at Lakewood Retreat Center in Brooksville, Florida. Now, last year it was so much fun. Oh my gosh, if anyone here who all was able to attend, absolutely amazing. This is one thing you want to start booking in your calendars now to start getting everything organized. We are going to have to get a certain number to be able to lock down the date. So if people can help out in the front, it's in between the 2 doors. Sign up or let us know what you're interested in. If you're interested in staying, coming for the day, all of the options. There's a lot. But make sure you come. It's so much fun.
It was fun. It was
Yes.
a great time.
And then, ding. Thank you to all of our volunteers who make our service so special every Sunday. We are always looking for volunteers to help in hospitality, children's room, inspiration station, ushers, and greeters. So there's a sign up in the lobby, and it's super fun and easy to sign up. And then now it's time, ding, to prepare our gifts.
She's our little Tinkerbell. I love it. You can see the fairy dust when she leaves, you know? So great. Thank you, Michelle. All right, let's send our baskets around. Oh, go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
I forgot to ding on that. So everybody together, let's get our affirmation together. I give thanks for all my blessings. I share my gifts freely, and I receive gratefully. I am in the flow of an abundant life. Woohoo!
All right, let's do our little chant. I am abundantly blessed. I am abundantly blessed. Gifts fall upon me at every request. I am abundantly blessed. Try the hand movements. I am abundantly blessed. I am abundantly blessed. Gifts fall upon me at every request. I am abundantly blessed. I am abundantly blessed. I am abundantly blessed. Gifts fall upon me at every request. I am abundantly blessed. A little softer. I am abundantly blessed. I am abundantly blessed. Gifts fall upon me at every request. I am abundantly blessed.
Father, Mother God, we give thanks for these offerings that have come to us today, and let them go out into the community here at the Unity of Port Richey and go out to all the work it does here in the community. And we thank and ask for all and give thanks for all these blessings in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Oh, it's that time, guys. Well, peace be. I think the world needs this song. So we've got energy running through here today, so come on.
Peace, peace, peace be in the morning. Peace, peace, peace be in the night. 'Cause practicing peace here on the daily, you will bring peace to your life. Come on. Peace, peace, peace be to our family. Peace, peace, peace be to our foes. Practicing peace here on the daily, one by one, peace be will grow. Here we go. Peace to the east, peace to the west, peace to the north and the south. Peace, peace, peace be to our country. Peace, peace, peace be is the light. Practicing peace here on the daily, we are the peace in this life. Here we go. Peace to the world, peace to the planet, peace to the whole human race. Come on. Peace, peace, peace be in the morning. Peace, peace, peace be in the night. 'Cause practicing peace here on the daily, peace be in your life. 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 Hey! Peace!
The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. And wherever we are, God is and I am divine. Have a great week, everyone.